We are live and away we go.
Hey,
From the dining room of my third floor apartment in Broward County, damn near in the Everglades, in these United States, all the way at the bottom of the map, it's the Marleyminded Podcast starring Young Goob the God. Tonight, Goob welcomes Pretty Tone as we premiere Sckool Dayz, a new segment on the Marleyminded Podcast. So, sit back and relax and pour up a glass of Ray and Nephew with a splash of ginger ale. It's Young Goob the God. Hey, yo, it is Young Goob the God in the Marleyminded Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. The music just dropped out. But we back in this thing. Episode, I believe we on episode 7 of the Marleyminded Podcast. Once again, I am Young Goob the God. Thank you for watching, listening. Wherever you're receiving this content, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, review, do all that good stuff. We're trying to get those algorithms to do what it do. Once again, as always, I'm super excited about the shows, and I'm excited to have my homeboy back, Pretty Tone, debuting a little something that we got popping off. We're going to get into it a little bit later. Tone, tell the people what's up.
what's going on, people? Pretty Tone in the building. Just cooling, enjoying life, trying to stay COVID-free, stress-free, trying to be productive, mentally, emotionally, financially.
Word up. My homeboy Tone. We got that hookah right. We in this thing moving. So,
Yes, sir, we cooling.
So we just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. There's no need to try to hide anything. You know what I'm saying? We all about trying to be very transparent about what's going on. So what I've decided to do in the past 8 months or so, I've decided to get into this content business where I've deliberately have been creating content or creating things that out of my culture, out of my experiences that I feel I want to start expressing. And as a matter of fact of doing that, I found that there was a plethora of other people doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Already. So
No AKA Jolly swinging over here.
not at all. It just came to me. It was like many people may know me, depending on when you met me, you may know me as Goob, the fitness guru. I might have been your trainer. You might see me doing pull-ups all over the place. That's just one of the aspects of me. So I decided to take that and to express even more about myself and what more of a platform or of a set of experiences to express than that of the school days that I experienced in Tally, especially the days with my homeboy Pretty Tone. I can't even. If I can get into, if I can remember everything that I said all at one time, but
listen, man, if there was social media back then in them school days at FAMU, we would be stars. It'd be a movie. It was like no other.
no other. It was
No other.
no other. And the thing
No other.
is, we felt like and this is the special thing about being at a HB. I'm in a historically black college and university. I always mess up the acronym. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? HBCU, right?
HBCU. I give it the bank HSBC because that's what I believe I might have heard that first in a Lil Kim verse before I heard. But digressing, not making myself look uneducated. But those experiences that we had, many other people had those same experiences to the same degree. They felt like they were as special as we did going through those days. So the stories that we gonna share are gonna be so relatable to the people who listen to this thing, who, especially if you were in Tallahassee and if you were there and from the 99, I got there in the 98, but Tone got there in the 99, but especially from the 99 and 2000. If you was there in those days, then this podcast is going to directly affect you. But if you were ever in school, if you went to a historically black college or
In
university
the South,
in the South, or even probably up north as well, because they was, you know
yeah,
what I'm
different
saying?
vibe,
Yeah, they had a different vibe, but they were still doing the same thing. Black
right?
excellence was going
But
on.
but I could tell you one thing for sure. Everybody that went to college, or definitely you went to a HBCU, you met people that became friends for a lifetime, became family, sorority or non-sorority. Me and you, go. We've been friends since '99. We family now. We more like brothers. But a chance meeting at FAMU turned into a almost 20, 30 year, well, 20-year friendship.
Yeah, and beyond.
Yeah, and
20
beyond.
and counting, you know what I'm saying? And that's the magic of a place like Tallahassee, even though it's in the middle of the nowhere. And at that
Right.
time, and even to this day, it's still in the middle of nowhere. But it had the ability to have this stew that was brewing, that was cooking relationships, that was causing coagulations of bonds of people who was going to be friends forever. And Tone and I are a prime example of that. A prime
Yes.
example of that.
Yes.
Somebody who was a rancher's kid who was came to that thing really dolo. Came dolo. Didn't really have anything or anybody there who was going to
Same
be
here.
rocking with him. So, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't like popular when I got there, but I had a set of friends that I, was rocking with. Shout out to my homeboy Gino. I talked to G today. G gonna come on the pod. We gonna have a good
Yeah,
time with
yeah. We gonna
Gino.
click old school.
Old school, you know what I'm saying? But I got there and I
Mm-hmm.
was very standoffish as a young person, still being in that carnal attitude, that very aggressive attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was just like, what am I really here to do? And I tell you,
Find yourself.
yeah, when Tone came, I found a part of myself that I hadn't had really, and like I really wanted to my whole life. Like Tone became my little brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As much as we were pretty much the same age, you know what I'm saying? I'm older technically, but I became Goob the Tone, like, oh, I got a little brother, take with me. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
fucking with Tone,
Goo
cause
Goo was
Tone
like
with
Goo
me.
became my bodyguard at home campus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that is a wonderful transition, and that's where this story started. It starts on campus, January two. I'm about to say 2000. I'm just so used to saying 2000
I know.
nowadays, but it
It was
was at
January of '99.
January of '99. Tony, I'll let you start giving your.
So it was all right. So to keep it funky, it was January of 2009. I was mad hyped to go to school. I didn't
Hold on,
go in
hold
the
on, hold on,
fall
hold on,
because
hold
I'm.
on. So you said even you got caught up. You said 2009. So let's
Oh yeah,
get
my bad. My bad. I
it.
take.
So and
It
I
was January '99.
1999.
1999.
So before you even go any further than that, take it a little bit back into high school. I'm gonna direct this conversation a little bit. Take it back into high
Alright.
school and let's talk about how you got to Florida.
Okay, so I got to Florida because I was wilding out in New York. Wasn't really, you know what I mean, get into trouble. I ended up going to stay at my aunt's house in Broward County. Felt like I was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? They had a big old house out there in Hollywood. And my cousin, Pastor Lorenzo Johnson, now used to play cornerback for fam. So then, like, in high school, you didn't really know, like, oh, like, it was like you either went as a black dude, you was like, you're either going to FAMU or you going to Bethune Cookman. If you wasn't really playing no sports or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? Cause then and then I ended up getting accepted to FAM. But before I went off to FAM, I went home, got a job, stacked some bread, and then I went off to school. And then at first, when I landed on Tally, it was like a whole different world. Like I was 17. I'm used to like having a curfew. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm out here like the ratio of the girls, the boys is 14-1. I could just be out all night if I want to. And then I got put in the foot.
And,
And the projects of FAMU. If everybody know, Patty feels like the projects, the towers, wasn't the prettiest.
the
You know what I'm saying?
towers is
But
right.
yeah, it's definitely the towers over there. But it wasn't the prettiest, but that's where it went down. That was in the foot.
Yeah, man.
And
The foot was home to. It was home to where it all went down. So now I'm gonna jump in and start telling it. So Tone
go
got
ahead.
there. So I got there in '98. I got there when this fall season started. The fall season, when the fall semester started in August, late August, and I initially had a roommate that wasn't really. I don't think he was really into being in Tallahassee. He wanted to go back to Orlando. Shout out to Jeffrey Cumberbatch.
Oh God, what type of name is that?
Jeffrey Cumberbatch. Shout out to Jeffrey
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
If that was my name, I would feel real low self.
So being an aggressive young dude from Cabo Ranches, you know what I'm saying? I was not necessarily into I've always had a room by myself. So I wasn't into the whole roommate thing off jump. So when I got there, I had 8 o'clock class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And he had 8 o'clock classes on Tuesday and Thursday. So every morning somebody was gonna be up early, whether you know what I'm saying, the room wanted it or not. But when
Right.
he woke up, he would like, when we talk about the description of the room, you know how the rooms were identical on each side. They had the desk with the light underneath. He'd turn on his light and kind of get dressed just simply to that desk light in an effort not to wake me up, being respectful and courteous. This person, being who he is. When I woke up on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to go to my class at 8 a.m., turning up the
This nigga turned
thing,
on the whole light.
boom, I'm
Ignorant
damn
ass nigga.
ignorant, getting loose with it. But I was trying to, I was trying to run him out because he showed me that he ain't want to be there. He was kept talking about he wanted to go home and work for AMC. He really didn't want to be in.
What?
Yeah, he wanted to go home and work for AMC. He did not want to be there. He didn't like the don't he didn't like being in the foot at all. And we'll talk
Right.
about the foot. Let's talk about the foot and why he probably didn't like being at the foot. So we already know
You had to
two
you had to share a
towers
shower.
with how many people?
Like on one floor, like 16 people.
Everybody on the floor.
You had to listen. You had to have on slippers to get in that shower. You was not walking in that shit barefoot.
You walking there with barefoot, you coming out with something that you did not walk in there with, and it's gonna need a prescription.
Facts. Yes. And you had the rooms ain't really had no AC in them.
So let me
You
give a
had the
description.
two windows.
So let me give a description. So when we were in the basement, me and Tone were on what we call the double O flow.
Right,
We,
double O.
we were in room 007. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So on the
Now this is
double.
the crazy part. Before we get to the description, real quick, my roommate happens to be a RA.
All right. So yeah, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Yeah, let's not jump.
Yeah.
Good job, Tone.
So that was my roommate. I don't know my nigga the roommate's name. I ain't really get along with him at all. He was whack. He was fat. He was just wasn't like someone that I would kick it with. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I was like that dude on campus playing my music all loud in the window, rocking Jermaine Dupri and Mariah Carey. Would you be my sweetheart?
If I could for a second, please, I'd like to tell that story. I know we told it probably on the first podcast, but it is such a classic. If you were in Tallahassee in 1999 and you lived in those dorms, then you remember this day. There was a speaker outside of a window that the CD kept scratching with Jermaine Dupri and Mariah Carey. Sweet Lover. Was it Sweet Baby Baby? Which one
No,
was it?
no, sweetheart. Would you be my sweetheart?
Oh yeah.
Da, 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 da. That's what you talk about. What you talk about? You and me, baby, going one on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about it skipped for 5 hours. He was
I was
gone.
wilding.
He was gone off doing something. Nobody could get in the room, and it was just blaring in the courtyard with his window. And this was this
Yeah, I
strange
was.
person who had just gotten there. We had been there a semester. Now it's January. There's new crop of people coming in, and one of them is
Yep.
this dude. Now go ahead and continue, Tom.
So we really wasn't rocking, and I'll be coming in late. He was complaining about it, so I was like, I'm gonna switch rooms. Now I don't know. I don't remember how the process goes as far as switching rooms, but you have to go to like the housing and be like, you want a room change or something like that, I think, or go like across the hall to the girls' dorm. That's where all the organizers was.
Yeah.
Then they was like, yo, they got this joint available. And then I got my key, opened the door, put my luggage there, and next is the introduction to Goob Marley.
So by this point, Jeffrey Cumberbatch is gone for 2 months. I done ran Jeffrey Cumberbatch up out there because he was ready to go. I've nudged him over the cliff. I'm not gonna act like he walked over the cliff by himself. I nudged him over the cliff. He got moved to another dorm. It was whatever. So for about 2.5 months, maybe from he left in September, so October, November, December, I had this room all to myself. Now to have this jail cell all to yourself. Let's talk about this jail cell. Identical on both sides. You walk in the door. Do you remember? Because I remember. When you walk in, R specifically 007, Pattyfoot Building. When you walk in
Yep.
to the right and to the left, there's a closet. All right? It's probably about 4 feet wide at the most. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? A closet. Then you move from there. There's the bed. The bed is made of steel frame. They got just old pad for a mattress.
Little cot.
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a cot. From there, I
You had
forgot.
turned that bitch into one bed.
I forgot. I skipped the dresser. There was a little dresser in that joint. There was a
Yeah.
dresser that was before the bed, so it was closet, dresser, bed. Then the desk that was all bolted to the wall, and then the wall unit that did the heating and AC. It was like this big old joint that was on the wall. Now that was identical on both sides. In between it, it was just enough space for one person to walk through. You wasn't walking by side. It wasn't none of that. This joint here was a cement block cell back in the day. So I had got one of those by myself. And I had laid it out, son. I had DVD. I had surround sound. I had the Sega Genesis popping in that joint. Everybody was coming to my joint. By that time, they was doing construction down in the foot. And I could literally walk out of my window right into the action. I ain't have to walk out the doors and all of that stuff. I'm good. Boom, I'm walking out. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little dirt because they're doing construction, but I'm out in the scene. I had everything laid out. And then I come back from class and I see some bags in my room. I'm like, what is this? I watch how I go out in the scene. So I'm like, nah, this ain't how it works. You know what I'm saying? This is not how it works at all. So Tone initially come to the room. Tone, I'll let you start telling the story from there.
Um, I think I just put my stuff in there, and then I had something. I think I must have had something to do, and then I came back, and then my shit is gone. I'm like, yo, where my shit at? You know what I'm saying? I done call campus police.
I'm putting the church finger up so I can jump in this. Tone was like, Tone telling y'all the story. Yeah, I had something to do. Tone did not want to come to the room, to be honest with you, because I had put out a little bit of a notice that I wasn't having this new roommate situation. And Tone is not one for confrontation. Tone is not one to be like starting a fire. Tone not here for the fire. Tone just like me. We here for the party. Where the party at? That's what we
Right.
want to be a part of. All that fire
Where the
shit.
girls at? I ain't
You know
trying
what
no
I'm saying?
drama. Like
We here for
I
the
don't do
party,
drama.
dog. The only difference between me and Tone, if you want to do that other stuff, I'm gonna set it off so my dog can get in the car and we can do what we do. Because I'm gonna make sure Tone's straight. I still got that in my head. I might need to let that go. But anyway,
You might need to let that go,
I
bro.
might need to let that go. My dog is a god. We
Yeah,
40 years old in this month.
yeah. I can buy a gun now.
There it is. So I wasn't ready to have a roommate. So I really fought this, and we had a patty foot soldier. We had a patty foot soldier by the name of Lamont who had a camera on that floor. He was from Philly. We'll get into all of
Uh
the
huh.
characters of the double O
Man.
floor and the time. Tex, Brick. Shout out to the god Bricks. Rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Brick. You know
R.I.P.
what
to
I'm
P.
saying? My man.
FAMU's first pimp,
Oh my God.
and
Came
then
from Memphis with the.
first pimp in the '99 to 2000s. He was a FAMU pimp for real, legend.
We can have a whole episode just on him. If I go back and just go in my memories and write them down and just give them back to you, they'll start to come back. But the double O flow was
Man.
lit. And I was down there by myself with these dudes, and they bring somebody who was just up on the fourth floor playing music out of their window for hours, disrespecting the whole situation that we live in. Now this dude is my roommate. You
Ain't
don't
no,
put a
but listen, when I played that, ain't nobody pressed me out about it though. That's the crazy part. Nobody pressed me about it. Like, yo, what's none of that. My shit would just play, so I let it rock.
probably because you was walking around wearing silk Tommy pajamas to class, and it was
Yeah.
27
Right.
degrees.
I'm gonna tell you why I bought those pajamas. First of all, I bought them shits because they was I was inspired by a house party when they was on campus. I'm like, yo, I know they gonna have a lingerie party. I gotta be prepared.
We went to TV based. We went to TV. We went to college based off what we saw on TV.
Yeah.
We literally thought it was going to be different world. We thought it was going to be,
Yes.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even though he wasn't in college. But we thought we were going to be going to another place and living this thing like that. Private school was a college, pretty much. But these were the things. So
Yep.
stand on track because we have set amount of time.
Right. Now, and for all the listeners out there, I know we jumping all over the place, but this is just a glimpse of what School Days segment and the School Days section of the show and the podcast is what it's gonna be. It's based around me and Goo's relationship, how we meet, then like the other people you see that come on the podcast will be people that we met and became friends with on campus and tales of being on FAMU's campus. You know, can't wait for the moon segment. Y'all know about the moon, right? FAMU homecoming.
The
You know what I
many
mean?
the many things that we'll be able to discuss. And I'm glad that you
There's so
said
many
that.
things.
I'm glad that you said that because once again, we are not the only people to have seen this. What's good? We got a little comment for I can't say your name, but what's good, homie? It's all good.
What's good? What's
Word
good? What's
up.
good?
So yeah, like I said, these stories, like we had everybody. If you went to Tally, you got a moon story. If you was in Tally,
Right.
if you was in Tally when we was there, you got a story from CPA. If you
From
was in
CPA,
Tally
you
when
got
you
to.
when we was there, then you have a story from being on Tennessee Street stuck in traffic during homecoming
Right.
or some type of event like that.
Taking over gas stations.
Yes, Lord. Take the let out started. That
No,
was the birth of the let. I want to say it was the birth. That was my initiation to the let out
and
in
then
Tallahassee.
everybody know what went down on Fridays in the afternoon.
We was on the set. He was
He
on
was
the
on the
set.
set.
But
And
let's
what did Florida State have too?
they
Florida
had
State had they joint too.
the union on Wednesday. All right, so yeah, we're gonna get into all of those stuff. We're gonna bring in people from all of
Yes.
those different dynamics, pull them in, make this web of stories, what I'm saying, come together in this community of people. Speaking of the community of people, before we get back into it, I want to give a big shout out to Tones of Melanin. Tones of Melanin supplied the gear, the apparel that I'm wearing today. This sweatshirt that I'm wearing with the Mighty Rattler that strikes, strikes, and strikes again. The beautiful quality of this joint. It just came in the other day. I told him I was gonna pod in it. Go go support the people on Instagram. Tones of Melanin, all type of product. They have sweatsuits. They got caps. I got a cap coming on the way. You know what I'm saying? What we here to do is bring our culture forward. The
Facts.
HBCU needs to be celebrated. I I can't wait till we start talking about athletics in
Yes.
HBCUs because once we get one
Yes.
crop of basketball players to go to one of these schools, all we need is 4 or 5 of them at one time. Then it's over for
Howard already got
everybody.
one.
Yeah, they got one. We gonna
Yeah.
get a set to come somewhere. We gonna get a Fab 5 to come from one of these schools, and we gonna set it off. I'm letting you know that right
Facts.
now on Marley
And
Minded
the,
Podcast. Whether you think the finances work, because in basketball I'm gonna break it down, and then we getting back to Pettyfoot. It only
no
take a
doubt. And then
year.
one last thing too, since you shout out Melatonin, right? Melatonin.
Tones of melanin.
Melatonin.
Tone. No, 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 no.
Tone. Go
Tones
ahead.
like you, like multiple one, like multiple tone. Tones of melanin
Bet.
on
Now,
IG.
they didn't supply me with this shirt. I actually purchased it,
I
but this is
purchased
a
this as
Buffalo
well for
clothing
the record.
brand. Yeah, this is a Buffalo clothing brand called I Am Living B. Shout out to E Rawls and the good fellas up there, my man SB. Uh, I'm Living B. At I'm Living B on Instagram. They got a whole bunch of flavors of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, sweatsuits, match your kicks, match your fly, and basically, I feel like I live this right here. Like I'm all about living. You only got one shot to live. Enjoy life. Work hard. Play hard. And it's a quality brand, quality clothing. I like wearing sneakers. I can get a t-shirt to match every flavor of my kicks, hats. Can't go wrong with it. I'm living B. Buffalo stand up.
If you can see closely, this hat does say "FAMU made." I know my lighting is so good that it may be a little bit distracting, but "FAMU made," and I'm going to be totally transparent with this thing. As we get into the stories, people will find out that for a long time, I'm a FAMU alumni. I have a degree in elementary education. I actually did the whole thing. Some people may not, what I'm saying, think that most people do that, but I was actually there.
And for me, I didn't. I didn't graduate. I flunked out. I let the ratio of girls and boys get to me. And I was just wilding out. I wasn't mature enough. You know what I mean? But you live and you learn. But I got memories that will last me a lifetime. And those things are still priceless too. But if I had to do it all over, I would definitely have my degree. But I would definitely get my degree without financial aid.
Word up. I can't wait till we get the student loan doctor on the show. I recently heard her on a podcast dropping knowledge. So that's the thing that we're trying to do with this. We're not just gonna tell the stories that of our history. We're really gonna try to help people who want to go to college, who may see college as an avenue for them to get to where they want to go, or may decide that
Right.
college may not be the avenue that they want to go. It may just want to go to a college town to get it in while they do what they do because they're an entrepreneur and they see that it's a market of people ready to give up that cash.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right.
But yeah, this is school days. This is the introduction to school days. We don't want to give too much right now. But Goop,
Yeah, man.
send us off, man.
Yeah, man. So we gonna come back. We gonna be back many, many, many episodes after today. You know what I'm saying? Young Goob the God, Pretty Tone, the Marley Minded Podcast, Marley Minded TV. I know y'all wanted to hear about. We gonna tease the rest of that story for the next episode of when Tone was coming to the room and what that video actually
Right.
had on it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna save that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate Tone for being not just being here, but being my homeboy for 20 plus years and being
For life.
for life, for life,
Loyal.
loyal, and more than loyal, a brother. And we going to get into all of
Yes.
that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to let the people see too much behind the thing today.
Nah.
You know what I'm
Nah.
saying?
Nah.
Shout out to our
Not at all.
viewer who was in the building. Shout out to you. You are seen. You are represented. I would say your name, but Illuminate, Illuminan, Illuminan. Something
Facts.
flew on my
Hey,
eye,
one
but
thing
shout
for
out to
sure,
you.
two things for certain. You could turn love off and on, but you can't turn loyalty off and on. I'm
Word
loyal
up.
100%. It's my brother. Whatever he got going on, I'ma support it 100, and that's what it is.
Word up. And this is not just my thing. This is your thing. This is our thing. To the people, this is the new MTV, Marley Minded Television. I am Young Goob the God. Make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, review.
Holla, pretty tone.
I am Marley Minded on Instagram. Make sure that you go and like, on follow, whatever that joint is, whatever the button you press to make sure
Yes.
that you see what
I
we
am
putting out.
at I can underscore only be me 1024.
Look,
Holla on Instagram.
we'll put the links in the description below. One time, let's hit the music before we get out of here. Hey,
Hey,
hey, go ahead and make sure you
hey,
do what it do. I am Young Goob the God. This is the Marley Minded Podcast. We navigating these waters. This is the Sckool Dayz segment with Pretty Tone, Young Goob the
hey.
God. We here to represent everything that historically black colleges have to offer. If you was in Tallahassee, if you was in Arkansas, if you was in DC, if you was wherever you at, we want to hear your stories. We
In
gonna have your
Virginia.
own. Shout out to Tones and Melanin. Shout out to I'm Living B. We out. And like Big Rube say,
Peace.
you can't forget, right on to the real, death to the fakers. Peace out. Hey
Peace.
yo.